Welcome to the Weekly Dose of Stars. I'm your host, Graham Breitenstein, a professional dancer and movement coach for icons like, Idina Menzel, Lady Gaga, Meghan Trainor, just to name a few, turned professional astrologer, certified oracle card reader, and founder of Drunk Astrology. Each week on this podcast, I'm breaking down the astrological transits that need to be on your radar so you know exactly what energy to tap into and what opportunities to take advantage of in order to achieve your biggest goals, your juiciest manifestations, all while consciously co-creating your life with Team Uni. That's my affectionate pet name for the universe. So get ready. You're about to align your actions, dreams, and biggest manifestations with this week's Dose of Stars. What if the only thing that was standing in your way was your belief story? Let's talk about it, dosers. Welcome to the dose for the week of January 12th through the 18th, 2026. We've got quite a week ahead. Now, we already started 2026 off with this kind of cost of entry, right? When you start a new calendar year off with a full moon, especially in the sign of Cancer, you're dealing with a lot of emotions rushing to the surface. There's a sense of urgency, even like this has to be done. The decision's got to be made now. And especially around themes of home and family, living situations, job situations. It's just the nature of Cancer, Capricorn, and a full moon. And over the weekend, we had the Libra quarter moon, which in its essence is one of those things where it brings up stress, friction, challenge inside of your most important relationships. But there's also, as I teach it, quarter moons have genius amounts of manifesting magic. And when you tap into these things, you can, one, when you understand the context, but two, when you really activate these energies with a hell of a lot of intention, it really changes the game. But this week, dovetailing off of the Cancer full moon, the Libra quarter moon, we've got this domino effect of our personal planets, Venus, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury, squaring off with Chiron, which is our wounded healer. Okay, Chiron is that cometoid. The astrology industry can't get its ish together and decide, is Chiron a dwarf planet? Is it an asteroid? Is it a comet? So we're gonna let the the astro industry duke that one out. But Chiron, in essence, is our belief stories. It's our belief stories that stem from our hurts, our pains, our traumas, and then the doubts, the worries, the fears, the anxieties that we have developed as a result of that story. But the thing about Chiron that we so often skip over was that the pain, the trauma, the doubt, the worry, the anxieties, that was only part one of his story, his mythological journey, right? He became a massive guiding light for all of the other people that came across him as he developed, as he was taken in, as he was taught, as he was educated. So, to only stop when you talk about Chiron, about pain and wounds and traumas, is a great disservice, because there is this developmental journey, right? And so your development around your beliefs is a high key theme this week, but it is also not just a high key theme. It is it's an unfolding this week. And the only thing, looking at Venus, Sun, Mars, and Mercury squaring off with Chiron this week, the only thing that can get in the way of you having the experience that you want to have in 2026, you connecting with the people that you really want to connect with, you achieving something, you overcoming something, the only thing that is standing in the way is your belief story. Is if you stop at I'm scared, if you stop at this happened to me X amount of years ago and I'm not over it, or this, I've lived my life like this till present, right? If you stop there, then you are massively stunting the potential that this week can hold, right? Because after this brigade of planets square off with Chiron, and I will remind you, especially if you've been with me for a while, but if you're new here, welcome. Squares are a call to action. So this is a story of overcoming stress, challenge, tension, difficulty around your belief story. So I highly encourage you, as you begin a brand new week, to really evaluate, where is your belief story holding you back? Where can you spot it? Can you identify it? Can you say, I've been operating under X belief, and as a direct result, I'm not experiencing the Venus love that I want to, not experiencing the Venus in Capricorn, the work I want to experience. And because of my belief story, I'm not taking action on the life that I want to create for myself. As a result, my inner dialogue, Mercury, is trash. This is the kind of week that we want to name it all, right? There's no limit to what your belief story contains, and it, I imagine, will contain multitudes. But after these planets all square off with Chiron and rupture in some kind, or really beg you to overcome the first or next hurdle of your belief story, then on the other side, there is this just like this growth that starts happening, this momentum that starts building towards your dreams coming true. But the squares are, like I like to say, the cost of entry, right? In order to really be fully prepared for what's on the other side of your belief story, you've got to go through it, right? You can't go over it, you can't go under it, but you really got to take it head on. And I will say, as I was preparing for today, I was already pinpointing my own story, my own beliefs, and how they've developed, how they've shifted, right? Like some things that I was scared of when I was 20, moving to LA and with zero professional dance training and going, yeah, I'm going to be, at that time, I was like, oh yeah, watch, I'm going to dance for Britney Spears. And then, after my first job dancing on Ellen DeGeneres with Lady Gaga, I was like, nope, this is the new Britney. This is all I want. And baby, did it ever become true. But there was a growth journey there around being seen, about being judged, about being criticized, about not being a good auditioner. There is all of that. And then fast forward to now, going into this new journey of creative self-expression through acting, and aligning with the right mentors this time, right? I didn't really get it right. Didn't really get it right in the dance world, but as an actor, like have been patient and have listened to my intuition. I have strategically asked the universe to make it obvious where I was supposed to land. And I asked, and the universe delivered, and I stepped right on in, said yes, made the investment, was scary as all get out. And then I've done my first couple of classes, and now it's like, great, let's get into this developmental journey and watch how, watch me work. So that, like, I kind of, in a way, starting over brings up old fears that were never in place, or I overcame them. The more and more I danced, the more and more I found success, the more sets I stepped onto, the more world tours I did. When you dance on stage in full body latex that's see-through and you have a thong on, in front of 50,000, you kind of lose any shame or, fear of being, seen or judged, right? You're just like, well, here it all is. You could see the pores in my ass if you zoomed in far enough. But it's funny, stepping into a new medium of creative self-expression, different fears come up. But it's just funny when you kind of go, wow, I thought, like, I wouldn't think that this would come up. And so it's been interesting to, like, prepare for this week to experience it as human Graham does, just as much, just because I'm translating it all to you doesn't mean that I'm not experiencing the shit too. But it's just one of those things where you want to go like, oh, okay, yeah. You want to, I can't tell you how many dancers I coached, how many artists I coached, and into like, yeah, like flail your arms around, look crazy. Like, you don't need to worry about that. Like, because what happens on camera is completely different. And so it's just like, yeah, you want to work as a dancer, like, you gotta, like, get past the, like, I'm gonna look stupid thing. And the same applies in the realm of acting. So anyway, just kind of sharing some personal context so that you kind of understand how this could be showing up for you. Maybe for some of you, it's a little more subtle, right? Maybe there's, like, fears and anxieties around being paid for what you do. I know I have a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs in my world. And I will also invite any spiritual entrepreneur to really pay attention over the next few weeks, because I am going to be launching a mastermind specifically for the spiritual entrepreneur. And I am very passionate about helping fellow spiritual entrepreneurs building sustainable businesses, but also roping in my expertise in the professional dance world, in branding, in styling. So many of us stop at not knowing how to put a website together, or not knowing how to style yourself for a brand photo shoot. You stop yourself at not knowing, like, what a logo should be. And so I really want to create a very intimate environment for 6 months to really help my fellow spiritual entrepreneurs build the infrastructure to a sustainable business, but also, like, you want help with your branding, if you want help with your styling, your photo shoots, your all things that come with stepping into the role of entrepreneurship, that's what this mastermind is about. That's who it's for. So many times it is easy for those of us who do the spiritual work to stop at, like, well, I'll charge $50 and spend 3 hours with one client. That's not sustainable, right? So anyway, if that applies to you, I want you to pay attention. You can even send me a DM on Instagram and tell me. I've already had a few people reach out because I've been sharing some little teases on Instagram But if you identify as a spiritual entrepreneur, then I want you to know like there is a mastermind coming, and the nature of the mastermind is not me saying like, build like me, I have, look what I've done. And that's not the nature of a mastermind at all. The nature is really get into a room with like-minded people who are on the same freaking journey as we all are, and let's all as a collective come together and say, well, this is what worked over here. I have learned a massive amount of techniques when it comes to sales and marketing that I absolutely want to pass on and share. So anyway, what a shame it would be, right, if I didn't create this space, because I, have been in business for 7 years, but 5 really with when you think of COVID. And what a shame it would be if I didn't do this because I stopped at like, well, who am I? We're not doing that in 2026. Not me, not you. So however that applies to you, I really want you to consider this week your opportunity to overcome all of that noise. So the other thing that happens this week, and it's at the very tail end of the week, is the Capricorn New Moon. And I am so stoked for us to finally have a new moon in 2026, because this is your manifesting paradise. All right. Sunday is the day your New Year's resolutions have been waiting for. And so here's the thing. When the new moon comes around, we get them once a month. On the very, very, very rare occasion, we'll have them twice. But in this very case with the Capricorn New Moon, it's your opportunity to start this slow and steady growth, brick by brick, creating a foundation in work, in home, and just infrastructure of your life, infrastructure of your goals. And here's the thing, to really activate this energy and consciously, intentionally manifest, there are invisible ingredients that have to be activated, that have to be ingrained into your manifestation practice. So the other thing is, if you're not in any kind of intentional manifesting practice and you really want to be intentional as fuck this year, I really want you to go to drunkastro.com and I want you to check out my Moon Phase Manifestor program. I got an email over the weekend from a client who was in a very volatile work situation. Will I have work? Will I not have work? After working for a company for a long time, who has just manifested her way into the best, most awesome, completely different kind of job, work environment that she actually likes, people that she actually likes. All of her skills as a project manager are being used, whereas before she wasn't having that experience at work at all. And in my opinion, and I care very deeply about everyone in my world, but in my humble opinion, she was being used and abused and taken advantage of. And she kept me in the loop all along the way. She joined Moon Phase Manifestor at the beginning of the program last March, and has now started 2026 in a perfectly aligned job that she actually enjoys, and she actually gets to use her skills. That's the power of an intentional manifesting practice, and I can't even tell you, there's so many other success stories, testimonials around this. Someone came in with like not so great health scores, and then in record time, according to her doctor, her cholesterol levels got zoomed into normal levels. So there's no limit to what you can manifest, right? A lot of people come in or imagine that manifesting is about the new car or more money or the perfect romantic partner. But what you actually leave with is the universe on your side going yes, but also here's this amazing thing. Here's this unexpected $350 check from your dentist. Oh, here's the the crazy promotion you didn't know that you were even up for, etc., etc. Okay, so anyway, something exciting for the spiritual entrepreneurs and also my current group coaching program, Moon Phase Manifestor, that's gonna like get you into the universal rhythm, because the universe has a rhythm, it has a pulse, and when you're in the flow of it, that's when everything starts flowing in, easy, simple, and better than you imagine. Let's quickly talk about Monday's astrology. And if you have your 2026 Daily Dose of Stars planner, time to start filling it out. So in Monday's astrology, we've got the moon in Scorpio, which is, of course, the moon of the metaphysics and your intuition, but it is also a story, an invitation for today and tomorrow for you to consider how you invest your time, energy, and money. Scorpio moon has delicious aspects, a sextile to Mercury at 1:44 p.m., exciting forward-moving conversations, a trine to Jupiter at 6:46 p.m. Investing in your growth and development is the way to fucking go. And then a sextile to Mars at 11:43 p.m. Pacific. Excitement, this momentum. Sextiles really do, like, we're a little nervous, we're excited. And I actually heard a great reframe to stop saying you're nervous and instead say you're anxious, because nervous is a fear that you're not going to get what you want. Anxious is I'm excited to do what I'm going to do. So we're going to start saying sextiles are the anxiousness of excitement. Around where you're going, what you're doing, the actions you're taking. So a beautiful day when it comes to the moon. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But the sun does have its square to Chiron at 12:32 p.m. So Sunday, the 11th, Venus kicked off this domino effect, this story of healing your belief story. And then the sun comes and illuminates it in a big way. So remember, it's a story of overcoming. No doubt, no fear, no old, outdated beliefs that you don't even align with anymore. You're just used to saying them, thinking them, believing them. No, this is your opportunity today to really overcome that, make aligned investments as far as the moon story goes, and take the fuck off in 2026. All right? Okay. Well, don't even get to really shuffle. I've got 2 bad bitch manifestations, so let's just go. Remember who the fuck you are. Don't trade your authenticity for approval. Always remember to look deep within, Scorpio moon, and go back to your authentic self. Honestly, there's nobody more fucking special than you. Shine bright, baby. And second, opinions are shit. Don't let the opinions of others affect you. When someone decides to give you some unsolicited word garbage, immediately throw that shit right in the trash. Live your life for you. Fuck getting approval from anyone else. Yeah, the approval from anyone else doesn't fucking matter when you know you are remembering who the fuck you are. Period. Point blank. Thank you very much. Happy new week. Happy Monday. So excited to be here with all of you. So excited to co-pilot in some way. Those of you who press play every Monday, and whatever day you're pressing play on, to co-pilot your development journey is such a privilege, such an honor. And if you're new here, baby, drunkastro.com, Drunk Astrology on Instagram. Come on into the world and get your life elevated the fuck up. Peace and hair grease.
Astro lover, did you love this week's astro forecast? Well, just wait until you're inside the daily dose of stars. Right now, you're waking up and feeling pulled in a million directions. You're buzzing with anxiety about your new meeting. You're doom scrolling for 30 minutes before you even leave the bed. You're overwhelmed by news headlines, decisions about deadlines at work, and constantly distracted, which, of course, leaves you feeling off, unmotivated, and stuck in a loop of doing a million things but getting nowhere. My friend, this is because you haven't checked the daily energetic weather report. Riddle me this. Would you ever take a trip to Europe or go camping without checking the actual weather? Hell no. So why are you going through life without checking the energy for the day ahead? The Daily Dose of Stars gives you bite-sized astrological guidance every single morning, so you know exactly what energy you're working with, exactly what to avoid, and what moves to make in order to activate the opportunities that are available for you to seize. So no more guessing. No more chaos. No more feeling pulled in a million directions and saying, what the hell is in the air right now? You'll know exactly what's in the air, and you'll also know exactly what the actual F to do with it every friggin' day. So when you're ready to start co-creating your best life with the universal energy in real time, hop inside the Daily Dose of Stars. The link to subscribe is in the show notes below. Simply scroll down and tap the link. I'll see you there.